Hello,
Right.
everyone, and welcome to Demo Night from October 2021, another episode of these incredible events that we run here at Canopy. As usual, those events are incredible because they have an incredible set of ideas, founders, projects, and we are here today to learn from them, give them the opportunity to share with us how they are planning to change the world we live in. And best of luck, everyone. Please drop your questions through the chat. And best of luck. So, Stuart, up to you.
Thank you very much. All right, so introductions from everybody. I'm obviously Stuart. I'm from Canopy. I will be your host for the evening. Ori, do you want to introduce yourself? And then we'll go to Jana. And then if Tomas has joined, then we'll get him. I'm just going to fuss around with the live stream, everybody. I'll be back in a second.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Oriana. You can call me Ori. I work at a company called Sitel. We are customer experience and customer service experts. We work globally, and we have a big interest in supporting disruptors, scale-ups, and startups. And I'm here today to ask some questions and get to know you all. That's me.
Super. Jana.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be with you all. My name is Jana, and I'm the head of DG Solutions. So I'm leading an IT consultancy firm in London. We're specializing in software development and agile project management. And also we're heading now towards security. Looking really forward to be with you all today to know about your exciting startups and also, of course, pick your brains. So I think that's all from my side.
Super. Tomas, would you be so kind to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Tomas. I'm from Portugal, and I'm currently helping startups through acceleration and also ideation programs. Also do some workshops and mentoring with the entrepreneurs. And I'm also working as a scouting analyst for a business angels group here in Portugal called Core Angels. So yeah, I'll be looking if there's an interesting startup that could make to the next committee. Okay, thank you.
Whoa, what an entrance. We have a scout in here, so let's see what happens next. Well, to start with, I'm going to pass the mic to Ralph. Ralph, who are you and why are you here?
Okay, thank you, Pedro. My name is Ralph Singleton. I'm the head of the Cornwall and Isles of Scilly Investment Fund, which is an investment fund set up through ERDF funding by the British Business Bank to help fund businesses in and around Cornwall. The fund is a £40 million fund looking essentially to create employment in Cornwall through investment in either equity or debt. So far, we've invested, we will have invested by the end of December 22, 20 million. And alongside that, we've attracted investors with another 50 million into those companies. So it's a total of 70 million, which has come into the Cornish economy. My background is 40 years in investment. Most of those 40 years have been in quoted companies, either in stockbroking or in terms of fund management. The last 7 years have been in the VC market, running funds for various government-funded or quasi-government funded organisations. The fund itself is, say, looking to promote jobs in and around the region. We're looking for businesses that are very early stage growth. So we don't normally look at pre-revenue businesses. We need a little bit of revenue beyond that. But we probably go up to maximum turnovers about 20 million, maximum valuations about 20 million, and we can invest up to 2 million in any one of those companies. We're pretty traditional VC structure involving either convertible loan notes or some preference shares with various liquidation and anti-dilution rights. The fund is a little bit different in that we actually promote and actually require, so we can avoid state aid issues, some matched funding. So typically we look for at least a pound for pound investment, and that's how we've been able to attract the money into the business. When I said, we'd have 20 million invested, 50 million has come alongside us. So that's very powerful for a number of reasons. One, it justifies the valuation, but if you as a company want to raise more money, you've got more investors on board to call for follow-on funding, and it's easier to do that for more than one company. Clearly on this call, this is quite an international call, so how interesting is Cornwall? It's a small area, so great. But there is another fund coming beyond it called the Greater Southwest Fund, which is another government fund, which will be announced, I believe, sometime next week. It's a £200 million fund, which will be for companies based between Gloucester and Bournemouth and everywhere west of that in England. So it does exclude Wales, but there's a Welsh fund coming at some stage in the future. That again is another British Business Bank fund, run along the same basis. It's not an ERDF fund, so there will be slightly different remits in terms of what it can invest in. But ultimately, it's going to be investing in, again, early stage growth funds. I would imagine that fund will probably attract 4 or 5 fund managers. It might have a brief that splits debt or equity. Some funds might do debt and equity. It might split north-south. It might split east-west. But it's quite a sizable fund. But it is a far bigger area than just Cornwall. Our investment style is probably a bit grandiose to say it's Buffett-esque. But we are looking for growth at a reasonable price in essence. So just to give you an example what that might mean, I've been doing this for 7 years, and touch wood, we haven't had a business go bust on us yet, but equally we haven't found the next Google. Now, in my books, the next Google is going to probably go to a large fund way bigger than us, but we're still looking for some good quality companies. And by good quality, I mean companies not going to go bust within six months of us investing. So we do take a lot of time looking at the companies. We have a system here that we call AMSP analysis, which talks about what the key metrics are for the company, what their key skills are, what the key products are, what the key routes to market are, what makes them really different to anything out there in the market. M is management. We're looking for good management teams with experience. S is structure. So we're looking to structure the deal in the right way for both the existing shareholders and ourselves as shareholders. So we take quite a pragmatic view on price. So we want the companies to be as confident of the future as we are. We don't want to dilute them too much, but equally we need to make some money out of it, so we don't want to pay too much either. And then finally, the P stands for patience. We do have follow-ons. Typically, there's a couple of follow-ons beyond our initial investment before you perhaps get to a Series A, although actually the fund is big enough to perhaps take part in a small way in a Series A investment round. So that's about it for the fund. If you've got any questions,
sure.
Fire away.
Thank you, first of all, Ralph. And by the way, this is one of the reasons I love Demo Nights, when we have the opportunity to have these reverse pitches, especially because, and I must thank you for that, by sharing the way you approach things and the methodologies you use to assess investments. That gives a very useful set of tips and hints to the founders from our community, and hopefully they'll benefit from it. Thank you for that. Jana, I see you have a question, please. And
Yes.
we still have 3 minutes for Ralph.
Okay, so Ralph, thank you so much for this introduction. Really appreciate it. Just for my understanding, because I did have a quick look through your website, I would like to know what type of what type of companies do you guys invest in? What type of industries? So I think that would be very useful to everyone on the call to understand that.
Yeah, it's a very diverse area. We've got marine, we've got electronics, we've got telecoms, we've got software, we've got medtech. We've got agri-tech, we've got some retail, we've got some other B2C businesses. So there really is a big range. It's probably easy to say what we won't invest in, and it's some very strange because we can't do nuclear decommissioning, we can't do shop-based retail, we can't do agriculture direct, and we can't do fishing, and we can't do financial organisations. So, but pretty much anything else is fair game. There are a number of strategic investment areas in Cornwall, like floating offshore wind, like space, like agri-tech, where we're trying to make sure we're focused. Mining is another one which is difficult for us to invest in. It's probably too long term, but if there are mining equipment businesses, we'd certainly have a look at that. And you might have seen all the information about Cornish lithium and British lithium, trying to find lithium in Cornwall, which is clearly quite important in terms of the way the car market's going to go in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Ralph. Ori, do you have any questions for Ralph?
Yes, my question would be, what work are you doing to attract some minority-led businesses to the area? I'm always thinking about our female founders and our founders of color and so forth. And I'm wondering if you've done any work in that space.
Yeah, we're quite active in there's a number of women in business organizations down here where we're very active in. The other issues, we look at absolutely anything. We won't turn down anything. It's harder down in Cornwall. There's probably a lower proportion of minority ethnic groups down in Cornwall than other parts of the country. But yeah, we'll look at absolutely anything. We promote ourselves. We are working with, I've got the name of an organisation. It's equivalent to Black Voices in Cornwall organisation. So we have done some presentations to them as well. So. Awesome. We're open to everybody as far as we don't discriminate against anybody at all.
Great. Thanks again, Ralph. Sadly, 10 minutes past flying when we're so interested in learning. Thank you for the opportunity. And it's now time to hear about Thomas' idea. Thomas, would you be so kind to kickstart this?
You mean me as Thomas, right? Normally it was the third one, and I guess now the second one.
So it's my mistake. My bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. You want me to continue?
Come on.
Okay. So could you guys put your hand up if you know what an NFT is? So not heard about it, but you really have an idea what an NFT is. I see 2, 3 hands. Okay, good. Well, you're all the target. So my company is Fabulous Lion Club NFT. We are still pre-launch, and what we want to do is make NFTs really go mainstream, meaning that it needs to be understandable for everyone. So our mission statement is to be the family-friendly NFT, which will make learning and earning with NFTs simple and fun for public and educative institutions. So the current problem is that every NFT investor encounters the same problem. You just bought your NFT, you're all happy and excited about this NFT, and you want to share it at the dinner table. But your spouse or your children have really no idea what you're talking about, and they only heard about NFT like once, and we want to make a change. And we do this with the Fabulous Lion Club. As you can see in my name, you have the website to see it yourself, which is an exclusive, engaging NFT project created for the whole family. So besides the fact that you can actually own one of the characters, we also have an engaging storyline. So we will kind of becoming a Netflix for a storyline. So just by holding this NFT, you will have access to our website on the back end, and you will see a storyline that drops every week. Twice a week is our aim, written and audio, because everyone has their own preference. And it's full of NFT drops. So an NFT drop is just another NFT that you get just by owning one that you could resell. So this is the earning part. And it's full of humor, education, and many other surprises. We have an experienced writer of children's books in our team. So in NFTs, what you currently mostly see is that it's just a picture and it doesn't offer a lot of utility. Utility means that you can use this NFT besides owning the picture, so besides the ownership. So as I said, we drop a storyline. We also give the holders of the NFT that read the stories can actually see the upcoming NFT drops and therefore anticipate on profiting. We will create courses for children, for advanced, for beginners, and for advanced. So children, we really compare stuff with everyday life for them so they can understand how blockchain works, how NFT works. Then we have the basics for people that heard about NFT and have no idea what it is. And then we have the advanced, where we even educate people on how to actually buy a good NFT, because as you all know, 95% is garbage. Then we also have an NFT generator where people can actually try to play with it and create their own fabulous lion, which will never be an official NFT, but just how do you actually create your own NFT? You will be part of a creator community where we just help others, because our team is 4 people, 1 marketing expert, one writer, 1 designer, and me that has just general NFT knowledge. And from the minting stage, which is the release, where we release our NFT, where people can buy the first NFT, 2.5% will be donated to save lions in the savannah. So we also really want to give back. Another thing that we do is that we're going to give some of the NFTs to schools. So actually schools can educate their children about the storyline and about the trainings that they provide. And what we actually hope is that the children see the storylines and go home and ask their dad to buy one of the characters. Since there's 3,500 characters, and just like Pokemon cards and baseball cards, they all have their specialities, meaning you have the main person, then you have 4 protectors, which are very known, then you have characters that are in the story, and then you have other fabulous lions that are not in the story. So yeah, and if you would like to know more about the scope of the storyline, you can actually already find that on our website, and that's basically it.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Please remember those who are not in here in the screen to drop at our chat all the questions you may have. So I'm now going to start with Tomas, just formatting the names. Tomas, what do you think about this? Any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Pedro, for allowing me to kickstart this question. Yeah, great project, by the way. I've also started an app which had the main goal of educating kids and families. So I understand the need for something like that. But as I found that was tough to actually distribute that content. I'd like to ask you, what is like your main strategy? I know you talked about schools, which I think is a good distribution channel, but have you figured out different ways to actually put the content on the family's hands, on other people that want to address your content?
It's mainly social media. So as a marketing structure, we have a marketing specialist, but we mainly just follow the marketing channels of the NFTs, which is mainly Twitter. It's creating a Discord channel, obviously Instagram, because you're really distributing mostly pictures. So we just follow the normal channels, which also has families on it.
All right, cool.
Okay, Ori,
So yeah,
your questions.
Hey, I'm just wondering, what other partnerships do you think you might want to consider as you design your customer journey for this beautiful project? I think it's super worthwhile, but I'm interested in hearing what other touch points and other partners you think you'll benefit from bringing to the table.
well, I think this is a really good question that I also have to think about, but the main partnership right now would be people with experience in the educational sector. Like, what can we do? Because we also have to really read the story and analyze whether what language should be used, because there's obviously some rules for children books, and I think we need to connect to those rules. So our writer's experience, he has his own bookstore, he has written a couple of books, but we definitely need help with the distribution, and that is really what currently is our main problem: creating a community and creating the distribution.
Okay.
So thanks for the question.
So Jana, I guess you have a question at least.
Yes, I have many, but let's start with this one. How many people are in your community, Thomas? If you can tell us a little bit about that, and also what's your strategy 6 months going forward for this project?
So our strategy currently is to just keep developing, because the NFT space is developing really quickly. And if we start marketing our project now and release it now, we're going to have a lot of marketing costs, because as you all know, NFTs are not very hot. They're more of a nut right now. And I can see this in the engagement that we receive. So on our Instagram page, we're currently on 2,000. And on our Twitter page, we were at 2,000 as well, but we got banned as Twitter started to ban any NFT related accounts. And we never got that one back. So we restarted that. On our Discord, we are still very little. I don't know the amount of people that we have, but we also start to have a Spanish community. So our main aim is English speakers, but our Spanish community is also growing and also interested in this. We have a couple of ambassadors in that also speak about us, but that would also mean that we have to translate everything in the book. So that will be a lot of work. We prefer to focus on the core business, which is English speakers. And well, the mission for 6 months is that we are really waiting for how the NFT market is developing, because we are just ready to market it. We have the metadata, which is the data, the smart contracts are ready. Everything is ready to launch. We just wait to jump on the next wave.
Nice. We still have 2 minutes, so Jana, or if you have a quick question for Tomas, sorry, for Thomas.
You can say too much, no worries.
Too many Thomas here around.
I was just wondering, have you thought about crowdsourcing some of your stories to bring diversity to the storylines from a creative point of view?
Well, yes, currently, I don't know if you heard about it, but you have DAOs. So it's a decentralized autonomous organization, which means that actually the community that owns can vote on the storyline. It's something that we want to implement, but also DAOs currently are not very clear, and most of them are not based on smart contracts, but on voting. I think it's super cool to create a story that is decided by the community, but on the other side, you also need to give creative freedom to the writer. So he's currently doing a really good job, and sure, he could get advice from the community, but get the community to write the story, I don't think it really works. I don't think you're gonna have a really smooth storyline.
Thank you, Stuart. Any comments?
Oh, just thank you for your patience, everybody. The old live stream went a little bit wonky there. So Facebook very kindly felt I was a fraudster in some way and kicked us all out of the stream. So we're live on YouTube, and for everybody, we'll be adding it back onto Facebook tomorrow. But I've been brilliant. I've been listening in the background while I've been frenetically typing. I guess what we need now, Pedro, thank you very much, by the way. You host on time much better than I do. So I think there might be a change of roles for next time. Yeah, it's time for some patch / Wilder / Henry / Kate, right? So let's go for it. Come on, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Can you see this?
Certainly can. If you can just get your credit card details up, that'd be perfect.
Awesome. So I'm Henry, this is Kate, and we are Patch. Patch is the only platform which gives people the tools and motivation they need to get outside and engage with nature for the benefit of their well-being. We do this by delivering challenges which motivate people to get outside and find and snap what they notice in nature and share with our online supportive community. Currently, our customers sign up via our website, which then gives them access to our Facebook feeds, which is where we are currently delivering our challenges, and that's where our customers share what they're finding. We're in the process of designing and building our app, which will allow us to add more challenges, increase our impact, and personalize the experience further. So today we're going to be giving you a demo of a very low fidelity version 1 of the app. And therefore our ask is for feedback on functionality and flow. And if you do enjoy what you see, then sign-ups for further testing. And if you would like the visual bit, we'll go from there. So we'll get stuck in then. So we've just downloaded the app. We've seen some ads online. We've been targeted with marketing, and our friend has also recommended getting the app, and it's tipped us over the edge. We're excited. We're ready to go. We're going to breeze past the login because that's not well, it's the boring bit. We don't want to do that. And we're here now. Based on our feedback from customers, we know that they want to get stuck into a challenge as quickly as possible. So we've deliberately placed daily challenge front and center so they can do this. Daily challenge sounds manageable. It's once you get into it, the user is presented with 3 different options or challenges. They've all been deliberately designed to be bite-sized, can be done under 10 minutes by anyone from anywhere. On each of the challenges, there's headline information. We've included some of it. And on the flip side, you can get more information like tips and suggestions of what to do. Importantly, we make it very easy to start. And when picking one, based on the weather we're having today in Cornwall, we're going to go for wild water because we're feeling pretty confident that we'll find some water, big or small. So it's here, again, we're presented with the same information, but importantly, we're able to capture the moment. We could, as a user, either put our boots on now, head out, or if we're already outside, we can continue referring to this page. While on the walk, imagine you've stumbled upon a beautiful cobweb. The clouds have gone, but the droplets are still there and it's glistening in the sunshine. You have your lovely, mindful, screen-free moment and you're feeling a lot better. To progress on the challenge, you simply click ready to take a photo. This then, well, we can see the photo. It looks absolutely amazing. Thank you, Kate. And we're ready to capture the moment. We simply snap it. We're given the option to retake or save. By saving, this will go straight to our personal journal, which will be accessed via the app and is an opportunity for users to reflect on their journey. But also importantly, it allows you to finish or post to the community. Now, as a first-time user, I'm not quite sure about the community yet, so I think I'll just finish. We get a nice little exciting congratulations, and we can go straight back to home. Now, the daily challenge updates every day. They change, and we can stick with that. But after doing a few, we're excited. We want to find out more. And we've also been checking out this feed, which is where the community lurks. And we can see that there's quite a lot of action already happening there. We know Ori is on day 4 of Stop and Spot. Stu is on day 3 of Tree Tracker. And it looks like Kerry and Pedro are both doing the Protect Your Patch challenge. Well done, Pedro, for getting a hedgehog in your garden. It's at this level, our excitement is too much to handle. And we want to get stuck into more challenges. This is where we have included the Discover function, which is where all the challenges will be based. At the top, you can customize what you're seeing with these filters based on what you're doing. So if you're simply going for a walk or you want to unplug after a long day, you can select and that will change what you're seeing below. What you're seeing below is the headline information. So it's a challenge type, a little bit about how long it will last, and again, top level information. There's also a badge, which will then, once upon completion, that will be added to your profile, and it's another reward for our users. For the sake of this demo, we're going to do Stop and Spot. This week has been quite stressful, and I'm imagining next week will be. So I'm really looking forward to just having a moment in nature, a bit of me time, and see what's happening. Upon clicking Stop and Spot, we get more information and opportunity to start. It follows the same flow as daily challenge. So we get basic information about what the challenge is, what we're doing, and an opportunity to learn more and get tips and suggestions. Now, this time on the walk, I have spotted, I've been staring at a tree, particularly one area where the sunshine is just glowing through these leaves. I'm feeling at peace and my stress has gone. I'm going to snap the moment to treasure it forever. Again, I could retake, but I'm very happy with it, and I'll save it to my own personal library. Now, at this stage, I've been engaging with the community a bit more, and I'm not ready to just finish. I want to post. So with this function, we go straight there and we can explore what's happening. The feed is then updated. So we now have our post from today, Stop and Spot day 1, right at the top, and we can still see what's going on elsewhere. It's at this point we'll exit the demo. Those are the flows we've explored so far. And we'll just flag up what we are asking for today. So it's feedback on the functionality and flow through the app. And then if you love what you're seeing, then we will be exploring the visual design later on. So please sign up if you'd like to. And we've got a QR code for you that we'll leave here if you would like to do that. Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild. Thank you very much. I wonder if you'd be kind enough to stop sharing the screen. We've got time for maybe 2 questions. So I'm going to go to Jana and then Ori, please.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for this demo. I have one question, guys, because I'm from Norway. I absolutely love nature, and we're very, very connected to the nature, whether it's on during the winter or during the summer and everything in between. I would like to know, how are you planning to earn money on this application? And I'm very interested. Well, that's my first question, and I have another question as well.
Sure. So we'll probably follow the subscription service. So to get access to the content and all those challenges, there'll be a paid subscription, and we're in the process of figuring out what that might look like.
Thank you. So over to you, Ori.
Yeah, well, Henrique, you already know that I absolutely love the concept of patch. So I guess my question is about education and interconnectedness. Have you given any thought or consideration to having a version of Patch that it's geared towards kids, so that they can explore their environment in a really safe way, maybe use as an activity with a family? Is this something that is on the roadmap?
Absolutely. My background's as a primary school teacher, so it's very much on the roadmap and something I'm very passionate about. There's kind of two answers to your question. One, we already are getting families outside. We're not absolutely specifically targeting them, but just naturally families, our target market's generally females 25 to 45, so naturally some obviously have children, so that's showing and validating that it's working for them. And in the future, once that customer segment's established, we plan on having children specific content. So in that kind of challenge bank, that would be the filter you could put on. The reason for doing adults first is kind of with the already kind of traditional sort of stereotypical image that nature has, and the barriers that we may face with that, getting adults involved. We want to target them first before children coming in for something that might be seen already, something a bit childlike, looking at a leaf, that kind of stuff, just to kind of set the bar. And then if that makes sense, that kind of a conscious choice we're making. But yeah, great question.
Thank you for that. Now we might just be able to squeeze in a last question from Vivian, if you want to give it a try, Vivian. We've got, maybe 50 seconds in this last, this is how we get out of time, I know, but let's go for it, see what can happen.
Right, so what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing to get more customers, clients, signups?
Well, at the moment, we're in the process of developing our strategy for that. As it stands, we're still working on our current challenges, so primarily through a Facebook spend, as that's where our customers are at the moment. But we will be looking at expanding that in every way possible, probably through the social medias, word of mouth, referrals. Yeah, that'll come.
Yeah, the biggest drive at the moment is definitely the challenges. So the challenge we're just currently doing has had over 200 signups, and we've had 100 new followers for the Patch group from that. So yeah, we want to accelerate that more, but that's the strategy at the moment. Yeah.
So you think content will be the main driver of all signups? Yeah.
Yeah, and good quality content which stands out in a space where there isn't that stuff, which makes it easy for people to get outside. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Nicely done. And I see you've had some questions in the chat as well. So thank you very much for that. Thank you, Vivian, for the question. And I guess we're going to move over from you now to Wolfkie. All right. James, Ian, you're away. 10 minutes. Get off mute. It starts now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ian, and this is James. We are Wolfkie. We aim to be the next TripAdvisor for dog owners. And our ask for today is feedback and sign up. So I hand you over now to James, who will walk you through our website.
Okay, hello, everybody. On our website, we've decided, so this is our MVP. We've decided to focus just on Falmouth to begin with. So we've showcased dog-friendly locations such as pubs, restaurants, cafes, accommodation and beaches in Falmouth. So this is a live view. This is live right now, wolfkie.com. We're going to type in Falmouth and search. Okay, so what you're seeing is the results for Falmouth. And what I'm going to showcase is the information that you can see here. So straight away, when we spoke to dog owners, they told us that when they plan their trips with their dog, the most important information they need when they're planning their trip is where they can bring their dog inside a building, such as like a cafe or restaurant. So we decided to put that information right in the search results to make this really easy. So for this particular cafe, it's fine, dogs allowed inside, that's nice and simple. However, the Gilly Beach Cafe at Gilly Beach, they have a restriction. So they say that dogs are only allowed on the terrace. So if you're a dog owner and you're on the platform, straight away, if it's a rainy day, you're going to be able to see, well, I don't want to sit outside and get wet. So actually, Planted is the place for me. So now we're going to have a look at the Planted listing. Here we go. Okay. So I'm just going to run through this now. So straight away, we've got the information you'd expect about opening times for the establishment. But then we get to the dog-friendly information. So this is information that Ian, my co-founder, has gone into all of these locations on the platform, and she's collected this meticulously. So this information is currently only available in this level of detail on our platform. So it's not, generally speaking, not online in one place. So then we go down to human-friendly information. So Ian gets this information at the same time, and we're including things such as toilets, and this establishment doesn't accept cash. Now, these things are generally speaking not available. This information is not available on Google and TripAdvisor right now. So we're providing this information because we believe it's important to our users. You can see the location of the establishment. You can see high quality imagery, which Ian has taken of all of these locations, and it showcases dogs in the establishment. I'll just open this one up now. And also human-friendly stuff too, so the food available inside. What we wanted to do though is we wanted to say, okay, how can we let people really experience what it's like to be inside this cafe or restaurant? What's it like for their dog? What's it like for them? So we created ambiance videos. So we have short kind of 15-second videos for each establishment. So we believe that these will be really helpful for dog owners, but also we think they're just a great addition to the platform to give people an experience of what this place is going to be like. We also think that maybe in the future, these ambiance videos will be a great way for us to get into the metaverse. And this could be our customers' ways of experiencing these social spaces online. So now I'm going to go to the top and we're going to have a look at the review system. So it's really important for me and Ian. We provide 50% of the information, the factual information from restaurants and cafes about how dog friendly they are. But what's really important is that our community comes on board and dog owners tell each other how they felt when they were when they went into a cafe or restaurant, how they were treated. Were they welcomed or were they simply tolerated? And so straight away, users will be able to rate the restaurant or cafe's dog friendliness and an overall rating. I will encourage them to write reviews and also post images too. Okay, so I think we've still got time to just explain how we plan to make money on the platform. So I'm going to go back to the main page. And we're going to type Falmouth again. Okay, so now I'm going to show you an accommodation listing. So like I said, for each listing, so it could be a cafe, restaurant, they will all have their own restrictions for dogs because having a dog is a restriction. So for accommodation, we found that some information that's really important for dog owners when they're planning their trip is generally speaking not available on even the biggest platforms. So for Greenbank Hotel, there is a £17.50 per dog per night fee, which will really, rack up over a week. And also they only allow a maximum of 2 dogs if you're staying there. So again, we put this information, where people need to see it. In the search results, again, something that Booking.com, VRBO, they don't do this. So a user would have to go into each of these individual listings to find that information. Now, as you can see, the dog-friendly information for this particular establishment is there's far more information here. And this is what we're finding with accommodation. So just very quickly to finish off, the way we'll make money is through an affiliate platform. TripAdvisor make 90% of their income through the affiliate process. And so we will be an affiliate with Booking.com, and I won't click it right now, but if you click this link, you will go through our affiliate link. You will get taken to Booking.com where you can see the Greenbank Hotel on their platform. And if you make a booking, we receive a payment of 5% of the booking total with Booking.com. There we go, guys. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you both. I wonder if you could stop sharing the screen and then we'll get some questions. I'd like to go to Ori first, as a super mad keen dog owner who would be spending £35 a night at the Greenbank Hotel just to have her 2 dogs there. And then we'll go to Thomas if we could. That's non-NFT Thomas, the other Thomas. Okay. So Ori, what you got?
I will happily pay £100 for my dogs. Like, this is how much I love them. Just kidding. I love the platform and I love the concept. And actually do a lot of work in the space of supporting companies that, you know, serve people with pets. My question to you is, tell me a little bit about what consideration you've given to the fact that nothing is really stopping TripAdvisor or other booking platforms from including that information in their system. And if that happens, what are your plans to keep hold of your customers?
Okay. Well, I think the biggest thing I can say right now is that that information to some extent actually is available on those platforms. The problem is that you have to dig down into each listing. You have to go through several submenus. For example, on booking.com, it took us, and we timed it, was it 60 seconds? 90 seconds.
About 90 seconds.
So it was 90 seconds to go through just one listing. So we put the search results in, we did all of that. And I think that the best example and so straight away we shortened that time from about 90 seconds down to 3 seconds, and it's in the search results. I think with those platforms, so we think they will always focus on what's important for most of their users as opposed to just some of their users. And it's the same reason why you wouldn't see, when you hit search results, just as a regular customer, you wouldn't see how much it costs to have a baby's crib in your room each night. It's very important information for some of their customers, just not most of their customers. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thomas, what have you got?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, great design on the platform. Very clean, very easy to use, I think.
Don't tell James that. We're never going to talk him out of anything if you tell him that, okay?
It looks good. It looks good. Yeah, one of the questions I had was the biz model, but you already explained that. The other one, I have two pretty quickly. One is, do you have any API of what you're doing? Because I'm seeing like a potential integration with the platforms that Ori was saying, like TripAdvisor and Booking, and even like food apps. They might want to integrate this kind of info. I know you would love to have this all on your own platform, but if you have an API and if you feel like there's an interest for integrations or a possible exit, right? Are you considering that?
So just to clarify, for now, the way that we envisage our platform, so just to quickly explain, when we spoke to anybody who was kind of planning their travel, we asked them how they plan their journey, and they might have said, okay, I go on booking.com and I just book a hotel. And we say, okay, but how do you know what you're going to do there? And they say, oh yeah, we actually go on Facebook, we go on Instagram, we go on, you know, a multitude of tools to do that research. And we see our platform as being one of those tools. In terms of the APIs, currently we are using the most basic level of affiliates, which is just the affiliate links. In terms of APIs of getting data on our platform, over time we would have access to, you know, more data. I don't think we had actually talked about us actually providing that data to other people, other platforms, but absolutely, like it makes total sense that a platform like Google or like TripAdvisor would love to have, you know, somebody doing that really detailed information, because I think in the UK there are is it 34 million households?
34% of households
UK households
own dogs.
Own a
There's
dog.
about 13.5 million dogs across the UK.
That's just the UK, so it's a big market, and then obviously there's the States and Australia and
the Philippines.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
I have no doubts in terms of market potential and the strength of a community like dog owners. I know it's possibly one of the strongest that you will find. But community is a community, right? It needs work on that. If I figure it out right, your platform, it's very based on user generated content, right?
Yeah, so as I said, kind of 50% from us. So like our moat, our kind of reason for people to come to the platform is the factual data, and then 50%, and then 50% user-generated content. So now that will be just kind of reviews and photos.
Okay, quick question on that. How do you
Dude, you're totally killing my timeline. That was looking
Sorry,
so cool up until that
it's
point.
very quick,
Seriously.
very quick. How do you keep quality control on that user-generated content?
Well,
You have to go through it.
Okay,
He
sorry.
approves it.
Okay. Basically,
Okay.
we're using WordPress, and there's a great system in there, which means that any comment that comes in just gives us the ability to say approve, deny, spam. So we're very much in control of it at the moment.
Don't do a Columbo on me. That's it, brother. Okay.
Thanks. Sorry,
All
Steve.
right. Thank you, James. Thank you, Ian. And we're over to May and Camilla, who's going to bring us home. You get your full 10 minutes, and then we're going to finish on time. Okay. All good? You know you're on mute, right?
Sorry about that.
Oh, better than you guys.
Camilla's throwing me the short straw. That's cool. Listen, I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully, just give me a moment, please. Oops. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is May, and this is my co-founder, Camilla, who's there on the side. And we're actually building Beta 100 for people like us. Okay, and people like you. I mean, both Camilla and I have successful careers, and we're at the stage of our lives now where we're wanting to step back from the corporate stage and search for more meaning, more passion. We've been working alongside founders over the last couple of years, and seen them start their own businesses, and that experience has really ignited our own sort of entrepreneurial spirit, and it's taken us on this journey, which is Beta 100, where we want to bring our own idea to life, and having sort of witnessed and spoken to a lot of founders, we found, and being founders ourselves, what we've found is that getting the right people to help you execute against your idea is really one of the hardest challenges. And as many of us around this virtual room will know and it can attest to, is that, often when you're bootstrapping, you have to lean quite heavily on your own sort of personal resources, but also on your network. And, your network can be fantastic, but actually, what happens is that, to get people to give their time beyond advice, and to get that consistent sort of professional support, you need to get to a point where you're actually helping recognize people that are doing in a fair and transparent manner. Because often, in the startup world, everything is quite informal. Relationships are sort of formed in a casual way through online or in real time. And when you get to a point where you're working with someone, and to get them to give more of their time, to talk about money is actually it can be quite awkward, both for the person who's contributing their time, but also for the founder. So, Camilla's worked alongside various founders in terms of conversations around equity, and what we found is that, a lot of founders are unaware of the various schemes that can be in place to reward people fairly. So what we find is that, often either the founders are taken advantage of, by giving away too much equity, or we have, we've had conversations, for example, from people in the open source community who actually give a lot of their time, but they actually get very little, if anything, in return. So, given we can see that there's a growing number of people wanting to choosing to start their own business, that this challenge around how to recognize and reward people is just going to get bigger and harder to solve. I mean, we can see already there's this intersection really in terms of the freelancer community, self-employed professionals, tech entrepreneurs. I mean, Beta 100 sort of sits between these three markets, and we sort of I guess we're trying to bring those three worlds together. So our current platform, it's designed in the first instance to better understand the relationship between founders and the people to support them. So at the moment, what we've got is a situation where people can post a project. We can share those projects on social media and within our own network. People who are interested in those projects can register against them, and we set up a chemistry call. And if there is a really good chemistry and there's a match there, people are confirmed in the project, and those people can then start banking their time. And the whole idea around banking your time on the platform is that your contribution then is really transparent. And so at the stage when a startup is in a position where they are either generating revenue or they are raising money, then, you know, both parties can look back on the contributions to date and determine a value that can equate to either a cash bonus, or it could be a percentage in the company. So in terms of how we make money, our pricing model, which we've sort of tested offline, is that, you know, in the first instance, when a founder finds someone who is wanting to work with them and money does change hands, and albeit it might be at a discounted rate, that we would charge the founder a 5% finder's fee when the beta joins the project. And that 5% is based on the value of the project. And then if that beta then joins the team as a permanent employee, then there's an additional 5%, because we're assuming at that point, if you're bringing someone on board permanently and there is a, you know, formal remuneration taking place, then you're in a position to sort of pay. I guess in the early days, we're expecting that our partners are probably going to be the ones that are going to generate the most revenue for us, because partners can also come onto the platform and offer their products and services at a discounted rate. And so any arrangements via the platform, you know, Beta 100 will get 10% kickback. So we've only recently launched our platform over the last 2 weeks, and we've got 131 early adopters. We've got about 40 people onboarded so far, and 7 projects, live projects to date. Our goal is to hit 200 active users by the end of the year. And I think at this stage, we're pretty reasonably confident that we're going to hit that mark. And so in terms of the future, I mean, this is something that both Camilla and I grapple with a little bit, because we can see that there are 2 ways that we could potentially evolve. There may be others, but we could become the one-stop shop for startups, you know, and this is where we can increase, you know, sort of partnerships with key players inside the ecosystem. We can just focus primarily on people who are wanting to start a business. Or we could also, you know, which is where we're thinking we may sort of pivot towards, is more around the future of work. And this is where we sort of see everyone in the end, and maybe sooner than you think, being their own business, you know, allowing people to manage effectively portfolio careers and find ways where they're actually generating revenue from multiple streams. You know, in terms of what they do and how they spend their time and energy. So that's that. So yeah, in terms of our ask, I mean, we would love for you to join us on beta100.co if this story resonates, and we're obviously open to feedback as well, because we're continuing to evolve the platform and our proposition, and we're really keen to see where you know, where people take us effectively. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, both of you. Could you stop sharing your screen for us? Just before we go to the first question from Colombo himself, Pedro Guimaraes, I just want to say, you know, looking forward to seeing you in person in Lisbon, where you bring this this story to life. You're going to have to be careful on the timing when you do that. So you've just done 8.5 minutes of your 5 minutes today. So and in person, it's going to be like hard stop on those 5 minutes, right? Sure. But what an amazing moment. You're going to be there in Web Summit Week. nice in person, real life type demo, and loads of people there at the Sitel office and up on the roof terrace looking out over the Tejo. So looking forward to that. Senor Colombo, what is your question?
Congratulations, great idea. What do you see as your biggest challenge now?
I guess we're pivoting again. That's the biggest challenge. Stop pivoting and then just get it done. No, I mean, jokes aside, is actually getting people to, there's people like you, Pedro, they love the idea, but getting someone that loves the idea to sign up. It's the conversion rate for us is actually the challenge at the moment. So we keep increasing our early adopters or distribution list, but then getting people to sign up, create a profile, and to make May happy, put their photos up there, complete their profile, then to make the platform more appealing to newcomers. It's the biggest challenge now.
Yeah, I mean, building a marketplace, market network. I mean, it's really one of the hardest things to do. And so, yeah, because we had started with this focus on founders, but we also believe that the people who are starting their businesses to begin with are people who are, yeah, they're just searching for more purpose and meaning in their lives. I think that's why we leave the corporate space. I think whether it's a middle life crisis, but whatever, you're seeing more and more people wanting to not work for other people and actually to create something. And I think that's what we're trying to tap into.
Nice one. I like the way you brought my midlife crisis into that. Now, I've just got a couple more minutes in this meeting room, so I'm going to ask Vivian for a question and then Jana to close us out. Or maybe Jana for a question and then Vivian closes out.
Okay. Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. So first of all, again, I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you so much, May, for telling us. My question is, how are you currently marketing this? And also demographically, where is your focus market?
Well, at the moment, we've been keeping a reasonably low profile. We've started talking about Beta 100 on social media. We're wanting to sort of position ourselves as more in the space of the future of work, where everyone is their own business. But going forward, we are starting to have conversations with accelerators and incubators and communities like Canopy, for example, where there are founders at the very early stage wanting to take their ideas and actually make something of them. So yeah, it's really forming those strategic partnerships to begin with, to scale.
And the market that you're currently focusing on, is it the European market?
Today, we actually focus on the founder side. It has to be UK-based companies for tax reasons and for equity management reasons. And the partners that we're talking to right now are based in the UK. But there's no impediment of any startup from Portugal or anywhere else in the world to join. But the way that we market is primarily to the UK market. And then for the beta side of things, they could come from anywhere in the world. And then it's almost like symbiotic that you get people joining from other places to join UK companies, right? Because they pay better. We as founders need a tight budget, so we go outsource companies and software development companies that are not outside. So yeah.
Thank you.
We are open for partnerships in India, yes.
Come on, Vivian, bring us home. Last question, you have the honor.
I'll try and be really quick.
Short and sweet, just like me, okay?
Yeah, you talked about people that potentially might be having a midlife crisis, for example, looking for a different way of working and also the future of work. But have you thought about Gen Z and the TikTok generation, who are highly critical of the current infrastructures and the way we use economics and business? So have you thought about perhaps doing a small focus on sustainability, for example, or social action projects as very specific parts of your business? And also, remind me, I need to talk to you about narrative.
Yes, okay. No, that's absolutely fine, Vivian. I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that, because we are having a conversation with Mike Morris about attracting the 16 to 24-year-olds through TikTok. It's slightly different marketing strategy and project, but we would see them folding into something like this. I mean, I guess, at the end of the day, it is trying different ways, different channels to see who the story resonates with the most, I think, in terms of finding product market fit.
And also with the partnerships, right? So we're in London, and we just met a couple of companies that are targeting entrepreneurs, being Gen Z and Alpha, and that makes a lot of sense. But if I'm being completely blunt with you, that's not going to be market zero, right? That's not who we are targeting right now. It could be something that we think in a little bit, in a couple of months down the road, and then put a plan up there to kind of target them. But they are very, the way that Alphas and Gen Z communicate is very different from the target companies and target audience that we are right now. So we would have to shift completely that, and we are not ready to do that right now. And we're enough pivoting for so far, but we are open to discussions.
All right, and the crowd goes wild. Fantastic. Yes. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Great demo night, great remote edition. And next time we see each other, it will be in person on the 2nd of November in the Citel offices in Santos, Portugal, during Web Summit week. We will all be in Lisbon. There will be big hugs all round. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. All right. So thank you, everybody. See you on the 2nd of November. And May and Camilla will be opening the batting on that evening with the first demo out of the gates. All right. Thanks, everybody. And thank you, Pedro. You are a legend. See you later, everybody. Good night.
Take care.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Thank you.